It started on a sweltering afternoon in late June 2023, right here in our quiet cul-de-sac in Sunnyvale, Texas, a place where palm trees sway lazily and everyone knows your business before you do. I'd just sold my trucking company after 30 years of grinding it out on the road, figuring retirement meant lazy mornings with coffee and no drama. Boy, was I wrong. My name's John, 52 now, and that day, I was peering out the living room window when my son Ethan pulled up in his pickup after a month-long training stint with the Marines. At 28, Ethan's the kind of guy who looks like he could bench press a tank runs 12 miles at dawn, moves with that razor-sharp precision from years in the Corps. He was hauling shopping bags from the truck bed, his utility knife and flashlight clipped to his belt like always, legal as daylight. That's when Victor Kane came barreling down the sidewalk, his gut straining against that absurd neighborhood watch, polo, radio squawking about some intruder alert. We'd clashed with Victor before petty stuff like fence height gripes, but nothing prepared me for this. From 30 feet out, he clocked Ethan's gear, yanked his pistol, and leveled it straight at my boy. Freeze. Hands up, he bellowed, voice cracking with fake bravado, hands trembling like a leaf in a storm. Ethan didn't flinch. He just eased the bags down, eyes locked on Victor's trigger finger, that silent countdown ticking in his head from combat drills. Sir, just setting these down, groceries only, he said, voice steady as steel, shifting his stance ever so slightly to angle away from the barrel. I burst out the door, heart pounding, bare feet burning on the asphalt. An orange rolled from one of the bags, and I nearly bent to grab it before freezing. Didn't want to spook a guy already on edge. Neighbors were peeking from porches, phones up, recording every second. Elaine Porter, our HOA president, materialized like a ghost, her face paling before she slapped on that boardroom mask. This is association business, stand down, she snapped, but her eyes darted to those cameras. Little did I know, our buddy Marcus Reed across the street had the perfect angle on his doorbell cam, capturing not just the standoff, but those worn-out county lines painted on the curb lines that would blow this wide open later. My phone buzzed, Marcus texting a screenshot. Got the Vithos markers? County land, not HOA turf. Sweat beaded on Victor's brow as a soda can clattered from another bag, making him jolt. Laura, my wife, gripped the doorframe, knuckles white. Ethan held that unblinking stare, the one from his tours in Syria, mentally mapping escape routes and takedowns. The tension stretched like a rubber band about to snap. 3 agonizing minutes until real cops rolled up, lights flashing, summoned by sharp-eyed folks who knew HOA clowns from actual threats. Victor stammered about suspicious elements, but the officers zeroed in on his unlicensed gunplay. Elaine yammered about bylaws, but when they demanded his security creds, the silence was golden. Ethan just nodded to the cops, statement whenever you're ready. As they hauled Victor off for questioning, Ethan leaned in. Log it all, Dad. This ain't done. He was right. Next morning, an HOA citation slapped our door, harboring threats to community safety. Laura, ever the schoolteacher, picked apart the sloppy legalese while I dug into our deed, cross-checking boundaries. Something smelled rotten. I filed a formal complaint at the precinct, handing over neighbor videos. The detective's face darkened. This guy's pulled stunts before? I shrugged, but Marcus showed up later, bleary-eyed from an all-night dig. No security license on file, he said, pulling up state records. And get this, Victor bombed a cop psych eval years back for rage issues. Then he zoomed in on maps. Your driveway to 20 feet out? County easement for utilities. HOA's been faking control forever. Without licenses, their insurance might bail personal liability city. We pieced Victor's backstory from old-timers. Ex-mall cop, rejected from the force multiple times, haunted by his cousin's death in Iraq. It twisted him into this wannabe vigilante, hoarding gear and obsessing over defending the block. But when his kid Nathan tried enlisting same unit as Ethan and got bounced for impulse problems, Victor snapped. Ethan became the enemy, the mirror of his failures. I phoned the HOA's insurer, posing hypotheticals about unlicensed armed goons. The agent's pause screamed trouble. That voids everything, boards on the hook personally. Ethan wired our place with pro-grade cams, time-stamped feeds beaming to secure servers. Reviewing footage, we spotted them spying on us days prior. Victor lurking, Elaine handing files and shadowed lots. One clip caught her hissing. We spin this as protection stick to the story. The violations piled up, absurd fines for hostile landscaping, and menacing mailbox shine. Marcus mapped a surge in citations since Victor joined the board, all tied to dissenters. Ethan drafted counterforms. Soon, half the street flooded the HOA with paperwork, sparking a frantic emergency session. Folks whispered about Tail's dark vans shadowing cars. One widow broke down on our porch. They're following me since I shared my cam feed. Insurance sleuth Sophia Grant arrived, grilling us over videos, snapping pics of county markers. Third complaint on Victor board buried the others. She hinted at statewide HOA scams drawing AGIs. Their lawyer fired off a letter threatening to evict Ethan as a risk. We laughed our county docs proved zero jurisdiction, but the unmarked SUVs idling outside ratcheted the fear. The board meeting exploded into chaos. Victor's slideshow smeared Ethan with cherry-picked vet violence stats, refusing his name like a curse. Ethan rose, deliberate. I'm Ethan Cole, for tours in Syria and Yemen. Bronze Star twice, honorable discharge. He slapped down records. Verify with Pendleton if you doubt. Victor gaped. Then Sophia stood. Unlicensed security voids your policy $500,000 exposure. Olivia, Elaine's ex-aide, hijacked the projector with bank ledgers. $70,000 siphoned to Elaine's kin, embezzlement pure and simple. Victor's mask cracked, ranting about vets stealing glory. Admitting Nathan's rejection fueled his hate. Your boy's what mine couldn't be. Ethan offered quiet pity. Sorry, Nathan, didn't make it. Standards save lives. Victor lunged, hand on holster. Marcus yelled. Streaming to thousands, they saw that. Sirens wailed. Viewers had dialed 911. Harassment intensified. Binocular stakeouts. Retro fines bankrupting allies. Sophia flagged fraud. AG froze actions. But desperation bred madness. A leaked chat. Operation Secure Streets at dawn. Target locked. Ethan smirked. Decoy fuel hit tonight. Sure enough, at dusk, Victor's crew slunk through the rear easement, tactical vests gleaming under floodlights. Detaining a menace. Victor roared, drawing down. Ethan positioned protectively. You're trespassing, cops inbound. I flashed Sophia's fraud proof. Elaine stealing from us, all feds know. Neighbors materialized, flipping. Drop it, Victor. Sirens crescendoed. SWAT and agents swarming. Victor's face crumpled as cuffs clicked. Assault, fraud, rights violations. Elaine arrived mid-meltdown, arrested for racketeering. Nathan had tipped them off, his own dad. County Attorney Elena Vargas tallied damages, $150,000 in scams. HOA stripped of easement claims, signs bolted down. Board dissolved. New one rose, transparent and gun-free. Victor drew 4 years, therapy mandatory. Elaine faced decades. Nathan visited, gutted. Dad projected his shame onto you. A prison note from Victor later. I made you the villain for my regrets, sorry. Life normalized. Neighbors chat freely, values climbed. Ethan shipped out, leaving cams as sentinels. Paper trails trumped pistols, persistence outgunned power plays. But damn, it makes you wonder, should HOAs wield cop-like power, or are they just bullies in polos? Ever faced a neighborhood tyrant turning personal grudges into warfare? Would you fight back with docs or fists? Drop your stories below. Hit like if this fired you up. Subscribe for more real-life showdowns that expose the rot in suburbia. Who's the real threat? Vets like Ethan or ego-driven enforcers? Sound off.